Text in Test 5, page 78, question 13. Use the mid-interval values to show that the mean of the grouped frequency distribution below is 5. Hence, find the standard deviation of the distribution. So to find the mean, we use the formula the mean is equal to the sum of each function multiplied by the variable divided by the sum of the functions. So putting all our information together again, but what's different this time is we have a class. So between 1 and 3, between 3 and 5, between 5 and 7, between 7 and 9. So I've added an extra row here now called the mid-interval row, and this is going to be our variable. So between 1 and 3, the middle interval or the mid-interval is 2. Between 3 and 5, the mid-interval is 4. 5 and 7 is 6. 7 and 9 is 8. So these now are our x, our variable. Our frequencies are 4, 3, 9 and 2. So we need to find the frequency multiplied by the variable. So 2 by 4 is 8. 4 by 3 is 12. 6 by 9 is 54. 8 by 2 is 16. Next, we find the sum of the frequencies. So 4 plus 3 plus 9 plus 2 is equal to 18. And then we need to find the sum of the frequencies multiplied by the variables. So that's 8 plus 12 plus 54 plus 16 gives us 90. So now going back to our formula, the mean is equal to the sum of the frequencies multiplied by the variables divided by the sum of the frequencies. So the sum of the frequencies multiplied by the variables is 90 divided by the sum of the frequencies is 90 over 18. So our mean is equal to 5. The second part of this question is to find the standard deviation of the distribution. So constructing our table again using the same headings. The variable, the frequency, the variable minus the mean, the variable minus the mean squared, the frequency multiplied by the variable minus the mean squared. Don't forget we're using the mid-interval values here, the x here. So for the first one, our variable is 2, our frequency is 4. The variable minus the mean is minus 3. The variable minus the mean squared is 9. The variable minus the mean squared multiplied by the frequency is 36. The variable of 4, frequency of 3. The variable minus the mean is minus 1. The variable minus the mean squared is 1. The variable minus the mean squared multiplied by the frequency is 3. The variable of 6 and the frequency of 9. The variable minus the mean is 1. The variable minus the mean squared is 1. The variable minus the mean squared multiplied by the frequency is 9. Our variable is 8. Our frequency is 2. Our variable minus the mean is 3. Our variable minus the mean squared is 9. Our variable minus the mean squared multiplied by the frequency gives us 18. So we need to find the sum of the frequencies. So the sum of the frequencies equal 18. 4 plus 3 plus 9 plus 2. And then we need to find the sum of the last column, the frequency multiplied by the variable minus the mean squared. 36 plus 3 plus 9 plus 18 gives us 66. So the sum of the frequencies multiplied by the variable minus the mean squared is equal to 66. Over to our formula now for the standard deviation. So the standard deviation is equal to the square root of the sum of the frequencies multiplied by the variable minus the mean squared divided by the sum of the frequencies. We found the sum of the frequencies to be equal to 18 and the sum of the frequencies multiplied by the variable minus the mean squared to be equal to 66. So this gives us the square root of 66 over 18, giving us a standard deviation of 1.9.